Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jeff with NerdNight.com with our latest review, Archeblade. We're going to jump right in with graphics. This game isn't great when it comes to graphics, but it's not altogether that awful either. It's kind of in that weird middle ground. Now, I don't see this as a bad thing. With less graphics comes less system requirements, which means almost anyone can enjoy this game. If I had to point out anything when it comes to the graphics of the game, it would be the characters. It's almost as if they're a mix between Street Fighter and League of Legends, which is actually kind of how the game plays, but we'll get to that later. All in all, the graphics really fit the rest of the game. Next up, we have audio. Well, this is another one of those gray areas. It's not exactly the worst, but it's not really that good either. In my personal opinion, the music is awful. I actually ended up turning the music off altogether. The sound effects make up for the terrible music in a lot of ways. Everything from a kung fu punch to the sound of a gunshot sounds meaty and full forced. Though it's worth mentioning the voiceover may not be for everyone. I have friends that would totally avoid this game based off of it. Gameplay can seem to be a bit all over the place, which I think is good. It doesn't stick to one playstyle like most free-to-play games, or even most AAA titles these days. Now, it mostly plays like a fighter game, but with a couple elements added in like first-person shooters, third-person shooters, combos, sword swinging, blocking, and even a little MOBA powers in the middle. This would make for a perfect combination, but it has one flaw. The game has some balance issues. In this clip I was the MVP, raking up most of my team's kills.
Double kill. Execution.
But playing as a different character, I was dead last, not even able to hit a character with how slow I moved. Now, it could be that I just wasn't playing the character correctly, but there wasn't much instruction on how a character is supposed to be played in the first place. Overall, you just feel really frustrated by not being able to play a character that you know you're good at. With Archeblade being free to play, and as far as I could tell without any story, I wanted to rate it on something similar, like the game's atmosphere. Now, in my opinion, the game doesn't blend all together that well, but it definitely has an interesting style. It's sort of a blend of East meets West, with a couple of different fantasy elements mixed in. There's everything from steampunk characters to martial artists, even a knight. While it kind of comes across as weird to me, I have to admit some of the costumes are pretty cool. The environments also are pretty interesting. Though the graphics aren't great, they really made up for it here. Like the gameplay, it comes across really fresh. On top of that, all of the maps are linked to different game modes. So the game's overall value, well, it's free. What else is there to say? There's 13 characters to choose from, and the developers have said there are more on the way. The characters also get cycled in and out like League of Legends. So how much money will you have to invest? Well, that's kind of up to you. The best part is, there's no such thing as pay to win here. Sure, you can buy a character to get a competitive edge against other players, but they'll have on and off access to that character too. And characters are really cheap, some of them being as low as $2. It's worth mentioning that this game isn't really for everyone. There's a lot of half-naked women in here, and if you're offended by that, you may want to not pick this one up. Well, what's the verdict? Graphics and audio aren't bad, gameplay is interesting, atmosphere is pretty good, and the value is great. So we're giving Archeblade 7 out of 10. So it's fresh gameplay, it's free to play, and it's balanced in the sense that you don't have to pay to win. It might not be for everybody though. Thank you everybody for tuning in.